2021 is about to end, and Tesla is expected to close out the year selling nearly 1 million cars. This is a big deal because they are such a new company selling exclusively electric vehicles. A major shift is happening in consumer mindset about electric vehicles, and people are catching on to just how big Tesla could become in the next few years. Tesla has announced a number of products to come, and they are constantly updating their current lineup in new ways. Today we're going to get into everything we expect to hear from Tesla in 2022, what has been announced, and what is rumored to arrive. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Fantic for sponsoring this video. Regarding Tesla's upcoming products, there have been a number of announcements in the past few years that have yet to arrive due to various delays from Tesla and the industry as a whole. The main driver of these delays is battery supply, with Tesla constantly battery cell constrained, since those are required to make all of their products. Additionally, their main two factories can only make so many cars, causing models like the Model Y to be backordered until November of 2022 in certain markets. Regarding product updates, Elon Musk recently said that they will provide a, quote, product roadmap update on next earnings call. This earnings call will take place in January of 2022. Based on what we already know though, in 2022, we should see Tesla finally begin to catch up with demand, at least on the Model Y. Production of the Model Y out of their two new factories is expected to start by the end of 2021, and if not then, will absolutely occur in 2022 and ramp up to full production throughout the year. These two new factories are located in Berlin and Austin, Texas, and are clearly showing imminent production. This will make the Model Y much more available, and it should bring a couple of improvements to it. So let's start off with what we expect from the Model Y in 2022. Tesla has laid out their plans to shift the Model Y out of both new factories to their all-new 4680 battery cells and structural battery pack. This shift should mean that the Model Y ultimately can come down in price, receive an increased range, get higher performance and handling, and be even safer than it currently is. If they do ship this improved model from these factories in 2022, it will be a major shift since Tesla is making those battery cells in-house exclusively for the time being. Now, some delays of these cells are possible, especially if they haven't been able to scale them yet. They plan to build a cell manufacturing facility at both their Berlin and Texas factories, but if they don't see the timelines working out, they still plan to produce the Model Y out of these factories with a backup plan. That backup plan is to make the Model Y there with current battery cells and packs. So in 2022, we definitely could see a major upgrade to the Model Y, or see it come fairly similar to what it is now in regards to battery cells. In any case, the Model Y is expected to bring a number of improvements as well. In China, the Model Y is now produced with an upgraded AMD chip for better on-screen performance. This should make its way to all Model Ys in 2022. Another big upgrade already seen on the Chinese-made Model Y is the shift to lithium-ion 12-volt batteries. The Model Y has had a standard one until now that has seen some issues. Now the Model S and X have this updated battery, and the Model Y is expected to receive it out of all factories in 2022. A whole list of Model Y updates reported in Europe leaked online as well recently, and should be coming in 2022 as well. It's a very long list, but adds the new infotainment computer with that chip, the new lithium-ion battery, rear door laminated glass for improved cabin noise, interior cabin radar, a new connectivity card which could possibly bring 5G, various unnoticeable changes and improvements, a cargo cover for the Model Y, updated performance brakes, new brake rotors, new updated UI taken from the Model S and X, and much more. That updated UI will be very welcomed, as it has now been on the Model S and X for a while and looks really great. Another less obvious improvement on the Model Y in 2022 should come with build quality. Currently, build quality out of Fremont still can leave a bit to be desired when it comes to fit and finish. However, Giga Shanghai has seen a lot of improvement since it is a much newer factory. Giga Texas and Berlin will be even newer as well, meaning that both of those factories, after initial ramping of production, should be building cars with less fit and finish issues than we typically see. Fremont has improved a ton, but overall the main shift to Tesla no longer having any complaints about build quality is expected to come when production fully ramps at these new factories. How Tesla will handle customers choosing which factory their car is made from will be interesting to see though. The Model 3 is expected to follow these same updates, aside from it being built at Giga Texas and Berlin. That will eventually happen, but is not expected in 2022, as the focus is on Model Y production for the time being. For now, if the Model Y does ship with 4680 cells and all, we can expect the Model 3 to remain the same at least for another year, but the majority of the upgrades I just mentioned will come to the Model 3 as well, likely a few months after the Model Y. So the Model 3 should get an improved chip, lithium-ion battery, improved brakes, rear door laminated glass, interior cabin radar, new connectivity card, new UI, and all of that. For both of these cars, it's very unlikely that we'll see any major upgrades you can notice from the outside. However, you'll definitely notice them inside. These cars as well will be the ones that should qualify for an EV incentive if that passes. This could take up to $10,000 off of your Tesla purchase and will definitely be a large deciding factor for Tesla buyers going forward. To finish out Tesla's current shipping products, the Model S and X should get a number of improvements this year, mostly improvements that have been announced by Tesla already. The first is a software update to bring true AAA gaming. Tesla announced PS5 level performance on the new Model S and X and demoed it playing Cyberpunk 2077 on screen. They also say that these cars can game from the rear screen. Neither of these features have actually arrived yet, even as this car has been out for 6 months, so that software update is expected in 2022, especially since Tesla still advertises these features that it currently doesn't include. Tesla recently announced an upgraded brake kit for the Plaid Model S, making that car truly capable of track driving. It's a separate upgrade performed after delivery, and Tesla says it will be available in mid-2022 for $20,000. Then Tesla is supposed to announce and sell upgraded wheels and tires for the Plaid Model S. Currently, they quote a top speed of 200 miles per hour on the Plaid Model S that isn't possible. The software stops the car at 162 miles per hour right now, and their website says it can do 200 miles per hour, quote, when equipped with paid hardware upgrades. Originally, those upgrades were said to be tires and wheels that Tesla was expected to announce and ship in 2022, finally allowing the Plaid to hit the speed they advertise. But now some are thinking that the brake kit is what will allow that speed. For the Model X, the software upgrades I mentioned for the Model S should arrive on this car at the same time. Then for 2022, the only real updates will be that the Model X will scale up to full production. Initial deliveries have begun in extremely slow quantities on that car this year, so 2022 will be when they finally catch up and reach volume production on the Model X once again. Those are the updates on Tesla's current products, but they have many other announced products that should see at least a few updates or initial production in 2022. First is the favorite of many people, the Cybertruck. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, the Fantic X8 Apex. The new Fantic X8 Apex is a versatile tire pump that weighs just 1.87 pounds and comes in about the size of a soda bottle. This portable inflator is perfect for car tires and is capable of providing a maximum pressure of 150 pounds per square inch, inflating 45% faster than most devices on the market. It has a large built-in battery of 7,800 milliamp hours and recharges with its convenient USB-C port. A single charge can inflate more than 6 car tires. The X8 Apex includes 5 smart inflation modes, which means you can set it for different tires, forget about it, and it will auto-stop at full air pressure. The digital display shows pressure in PSI and bar, and it includes an LED flashlight as well. The X8 Apex is the perfect tool to have on hand if you find yourself stuck somewhere with a low or flat tire. It's incredibly compact and will get you back on the road quickly. To check out the Fantic X8 Apex for yourself, click the link in the description below. Apply a $20 off coupon on Amazon and then use the discount code RyanX8Apex to get $30 off your total order. This deal is only up for a limited amount of time, so order soon if you are interested. Tesla announced the Cybertruck in 2019 and shocked pretty much everyone who saw it. The design of this truck is extreme, and Elon Musk has now detailed how they purposely want it to be an insane technology bandwagon. Most recently, Elon Musk said, quote, "The Cybertruck is going to be an incredible product. I think it may be our best product ever. I think it probably will be. It has a lot of new technology, so it's hard to make. I bet it will be awesome. I think I've said before, but we're aiming for volume production in 2023. I will provide more detailed product updates on the Tesla earnings call early next year. I wish it could be sooner, but that's most likely when it happens. It will be something really special, like one of those rare products that happens once in a while that's really special." So that timeline is pushed for volume production, but initial production is expected in 2022. We'll likely see lots of prototypes testing from Tesla with leaks and, quote, in the wild sightings of the Cybertruck throughout 2022. Then initial production and deliveries could happen by the end of the year. This could change since it has already, but some new features that we'll see for this truck confirmed by Elon Musk are 4 independent motors, one more than any of the announced configurations, auto-presenting doors to replace door handles, a Tesla version of crab walk, as well as tank turn, and easily removable side mirrors. Likely, these will be easily removable since they are legally required, but Tesla is expected to include a replacement side camera system in the Cybertruck so it can keep its design. Lastly, we expect slightly different dimensions on the Cybertruck, and all of these improvements should be seen in 2022. The Cybertruck in 2022 will be a lot like the Model Model Y in the months leading up until its launch. Tesla will remain incredibly secretive, but there will undoubtedly be a number of leaks and sightings giving us updates about that truck. Then, in classic Tesla fashion, the real confirmations of each thing that the truck includes on the final production version will occur once a customer actually takes delivery. It should be a very exciting year for the Cybertruck as it ramps up to full production in 2023. The Cybertruck is supposed to utilize Tesla's new 4680 battery cells and structural battery pack exclusively from what we have heard, so it will be all new from the ground up compared to Tesla's current vehicles. There are many factors at play with the Cybertruck launching, including battery supply, general production issues on such a new car, and the new factory to build it coming online, so a delay beyond 2022 would not be too shocking to most, but hopefully Tesla can get it done in 2022. Next is the Tesla Semi. Tesla announced the Semi back in 2017 at a full unveil event. They detailed everything about how much money and energy the Semi can save truck drivers, but it has been 4 years and Tesla has not launched it. It is now over 2 years past its announced launch date. Elon Musk has repeatedly said that the Semi has not launched due to battery supply constraints, but now Tesla is expected to deliver their first batch of Tesla Semis to Pepsi either at the end of 2021 or into 2022. Essentially, the first 15 Tesla Semis ever produced and delivered will be going to Pepsi, who is already in the process of planning for the use of these new electric trucks. Tesla recently installed their first semi-megachargers at Giga Nevada, and now it is reported that Pepsi has begun the process of installing their own semi-megachargers. This will ensure that Pepsi is covered and can utilize the initial semis when they receive them from Tesla, but those 15 semis are only a tiny portion of what Pepsi has ordered, with 100 on order. Essentially, it appears that this Pepsi deal will be Tesla's first beta testing phase of the Semi from an actual company utilizing them. They aren't at scale yet to deliver 100 of them, but it seems very likely that we will see the Tesla Semi on the road in California being utilized by Pepsi, and Pepsi will be providing feedback of how their program is going to Tesla. Tesla will use this info to improve the product and fine-tune it at the same time that battery production scales up. The last vehicle to mention is the Tesla Roadster. This was announced at the Tesla Semi event for a launch in 2020, and of course has yet to be seen. Instead, Tesla focused on the Plaid Model S, which has achieved nearly similar 0 to 60 times. The latest from Elon Musk on the Roadster is that, quote, assuming 2022 is not mega drama, new Roadster should ship in 2023. This likely means an even further out timeline since this is such a niche vehicle and that we won't hear much about it in 2022. Tesla announced their $25,000 EV at Battery Day. There have been a slew of rumors surrounding this car, but what seems most likely for 2022 is that we may get some leaks out of Giga Shanghai where it will be produced. Tesla is said to be aiming the start of production of this car in 2023, and if that's actually true, they'll surely be doing prototyping and testing throughout 2022. They managed to keep things pretty secret, but it's definitely possible that either Tesla releases concept photos to get people excited, or a prototype gets spotted testing in the wild near their Shanghai factory. The next biggest thing next to Tesla's vehicles would be full self-driving. You typically hear about Tesla's full self-driving efforts more than anything else, and improvements are being brought out each day. Tesla's full self-driving City Streets beta has been out for some time now, and recently began shipping to average customers achieving high safety scores. They've slowed down this rollout but continue to bring out large updates to the beta. Elon Musk's timelines for full self-driving have become kind of a joke at this point, with him claiming full autonomy by 2017, 2018, 2020, and then 2021. Of course, none of these timelines have been close to being achieved, but that doesn't mean that Tesla isn't working towards that goal still. For 2022, full autonomy is what Tesla wants to ship, but what we'll realistically see will be the expansion of the full self-driving beta to any customer who wants it. Still, I wouldn't be surprised if this doesn't come till the end of 2022 to everyone, since Tesla still has a lot of work to do. Also, if this comes, it will be the release of the full self-driving beta, not the release of full autonomy. So that means it is likely to still require full driver attention utilizing the interior camera just like it does now. Those are the majority of product predictions and expectations from Tesla in 2022. Regarding solar and stationary storage, Tesla is simply expected to expand and ramp up installs to make wait times shorter on these products. Recently, it was reported that Tesla is having issues getting their hands on solar panels, and it has caused delays. Ultimately, there isn't much expected for these products aside from them getting through supply constraints and expanding availability. Regarding cars though, Tesla is expected to sell well over 1 million cars in 2022. They should be closing out 2021 with nearly that many sold. Then, as we talked about earlier, Tesla will be opening 2 brand new factories to produce the Model Y. This article quotes 1.3 million deliveries for 2022 as a prediction, but many predict even more if they can ramp up production at these new factories. Tesla really doesn't have an issue selling their cars right now. Their main issue is production, and 2022 should finally be the year that they start catching up on current demand. Even with those factories though, Tesla is expanding rapidly rapidly and could surprise us with some more announcements in 2022. First would be the announcement of another new factory location. Rumors have put this location in China, separate from Shanghai, in Russia, among other places, but we really don't know where Tesla would be looking. They seem to have a good presence right now and ultimately want to be sure to have factories on each continent. One product we could hear an update about would be the Tesla Bot, but right now that prototype seems to be very far from existence, so it seems unlikely. In any case, Tesla has a lot going on, and 2022 should be an incredible year for their growth. The Model Y and 3 will both see some major improvements, and the Model Y should be coming out of 2 brand new factories scaled up to full production in that year. Hopefully we'll see the Model Y come out with Tesla's brand new battery cells, and we could see initial Cybertruck production. I'll be sure to keep you posted on all of the updates Tesla is bringing out throughout the year, so make sure you subscribe to this channel to see those updates. In the meantime, you can check out my full 2022 Tesla buying guide linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.